In November 2025, President Donald Trump ignited a fresh wave of controversy, not over a new policy or executive order, but through a series of heated and highly publicized clashes with two respected female journalists. These moments quickly became the center of national conversation, drawing attention not just from political insiders, but from citizens across the country who watched the drama unfold in real time. These incidents, which occurred just days apart, reignited a long-standing debate about the presidency's relationship with the press and the crucial importance of journalistic accountability. The confrontations were more than just tense exchanges. They became a flashpoint for discussions about the boundaries of power, the role of the media, and the expectations we have for those who lead and those who question them. The confrontations took place in two of the most iconic and symbolic settings in American politics, Air Force One and the Oval Office. These are places where history is made and where the eyes of the world are often focused, making the events even more significant. In both settings, tough and necessary questions were met, not with thoughtful answers or transparency, but with personal insults, open hostility, and outright dismissals. The tone of these exchanges sent a clear message about the administration's approach to scrutiny and dissent. The questions at the heart of these confrontations were not trivial. They centered on the release of Jeffrey Epstein files and the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Both topics are deeply serious, touching on issues of justice, transparency, and the safety of those who seek to uncover the truth. When the pursuit of truth is met with hostility and derision, it threatens the press's ability to hold leaders accountable. It also sends a chilling signal to other journalists who may fear similar treatment for asking difficult questions. In this chapter, we'll break down exactly what happened, the specific insults and dismissals hurled at Catherine Lucy and Mary Bruce, and why these moments matter, not just for the individuals involved, but for the broader landscape of American journalism. Beyond the headlines and the viral clips, this is ultimately a story about the health of our democracy and the vital, irreplaceable role of a free and independent press in safeguarding it. Let's take a closer look at how these events unfolded and consider what they mean for the future of press freedom, public accountability, and the relationship between those in power and those who question them. The first confrontation happened on November 14, 2025, during a press gaggle aboard Air Force One. Catherine Lucy of Bloomberg News pressed President Trump about the explosive release of Jeffrey Epstein files. The atmosphere was tense. The White House was on the defensive. Lucy's question was direct, seeking clarity on a matter of public concern. As she followed up, Trump abruptly cut her off, pointing and snapping, "Quiet! Quiet, Piggy!" The insult was personal, gendered, and instantly controversial. Attempts to justify the president's words fell flat. For many, the disrespect was clear. The moment became a symbol of the administration's combative stance toward the press. What triggered the president's outburst? Lucy's question was rooted in the newly released Epstein documents. She asked, "Mr. President, what did Epstein mean when he said you knew about the girls?" Trump denied any knowledge, calling the controversy a hoax. Lucy pressed for specifics, as any good journalist would. Instead of engaging, Trump resorted to a personal attack, "Quiet, Piggy," to deflect and intimidate. This tactic wasn't just about silencing Lucy. It was a warning to all journalists who dare to ask tough questions. The message challenged the president, and you risk public humiliation. Such moments undermine the press's ability to hold power to account. 4 days after the shocking news broke, tension hung in the air at the Oval Office. President Trump welcomed Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman for a high-profile meeting, drawing the eyes of the world to Washington. The encounter was historic and deeply controversial, given the Crown Prince's alleged involvement in the brutal murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, a crime that had sent shockwaves through the international community. As the world's media gathered, ABC's Mary Bruce voiced the question on everyone's mind. Would the president confront the Crown Prince about the killing of a journalist, or would he sidestep the issue? Before the Crown Prince could even respond, the atmosphere grew tense. Trump abruptly intervened, not to defend the principles of a free press, but to chastise Bruce for her inquiry. He called her question horrible and insubordinate, making it clear he disapproved of her pressing for answers. Trump insisted she shouldn't embarrass our guest, prioritizing diplomatic decorum over transparency or accountability. The president's priority was unmistakable: maintain the appearance of strong US-Saudi relations rather than demand justice or answers. The rebuke sent a chilling message to journalists everywhere about the administration's stance on press freedom and the risks of asking tough questions. Instead of supporting a journalist seeking truth and accountability, the president chose to silence dissent in the room. In that moment, the president sided with a foreign leader accused of murder, sending a powerful signal about his administration's values. The world was watching, and the implications for press freedom, international relations, and America's moral leadership were profound. The Oval Office exchange escalated quickly. After Bruce tried to pivot to the Epstein files, Trump doubled down, attacking her personally. "You're a terrible person and a terrible reporter." He then targeted ABC News, calling it a crappy company and suggesting its broadcast license should be revoked. By invoking the FCC, Trump turned criticism into a threat against press freedom itself. The implication: challenge the president, and your network's existence could be at risk. This was more than bluster. It was an attack on the First Amendment. Such threats aim to intimidate not just individual journalists, but entire news organizations. The president's words blurred the line between critique and authoritarianism. The stakes for a free press had never been clearer. To understand the gravity of Trump's remarks, remember Jamal Khashoggi, a Washington Post columnist and US resident murdered in 2018. Khashoggi's killing, ordered by Saudi agents, was a brutal message to critics of the regime. US intelligence concluded the Crown Prince was responsible. The murder was condemned worldwide as an assault on free expression. When Trump scolded Bruce for raising Khashoggi's death, he minimized a journalist's murder and sided with the accused. His dismissive attitude, "things happen," undermined global efforts for accountability. Such rhetoric signals to authoritarian regimes that press freedom is negotiable. The consequences for journalists everywhere are dire. The backlash was immediate and unified. Journalists, media organizations, and press freedom advocates condemned Trump's insults and threats. CNN's Jake Tapper called the Piggy remark disgusting. The National Press Club warned that minimizing Khashoggi's murder has real-world consequences. The International Women's Media Foundation highlighted the gendered nature of the attacks. Bloomberg and ABC News stood firmly behind their reporters. The message? The press would not be intimidated or silenced. These incidents weren't isolated. They were part of a pattern aimed at delegitimizing the media. The journalistic community stood together, defending the right to ask tough questions and hold power accountable. Trump's use of demeaning appearance-based insults against women is nothing new. The Piggy slur has a history, from beauty pageants to the White House. Such language reduces professional women to their looks, dismissing their expertise and voices. Female journalists have faced a barrage of personal attacks, creating a hostile work environment. These insults are meant to bully women into silence and discourage tough questions. When leaders publicly demean women, It normalizes misogyny and emboldens others to do the same. For female reporters, the risks and challenges only grow. The message from the top women who speak up will be targeted. These confrontations are about more than just bad manners. They strike at the very core of democracy itself. When the press is challenged or dismissed, it's not simply a matter of etiquette, but a test of our commitment to open dialogue and transparency. Journalists are the public's eyes and ears, holding the powerful accountable and shining a light on issues that might otherwise remain hidden. Their work ensures that citizens have the information they need to make informed decisions. When leaders attack the press, they undermine trust and threaten the free flow of information. This not only damages the relationship between the government and the people, but also weakens the very foundation of a free society. Authoritarian regimes silence critics and control the narrative. Democracies, on the other hand, welcome tough questions and encourage debate. The difference is clear. One fears scrutiny, the other thrives on it. Respect for journalists isn't about liking every story. It's about valuing their essential role in our system of checks and balances. A healthy democracy depends on a press that can ask difficult questions without fear. Silencing or intimidating the press leads to an uninformed public and erodes democracy. When journalists are threatened or restricted, everyone loses access to the truth. The incidents involving Lucy and Bruce are a warning. Our right to know is at stake. These moments remind us that press freedom is never guaranteed. It must be protected and defended. Defending journalists is defending democracy itself. When we support a free press, we support our own rights and freedoms as citizens. The health of our society depends on leaders willing to face uncomfortable questions, and a press brave enough to ask them. Only then can democracy truly flourish.